Well, hello again, Altrincham. It's Reverend Dave from St. Margaret's Church. And what has been a lovely few days, if a little chilly in the mornings. Excuse me. Well, this coming weekend, indeed, as of Thursday, the nation is thinking about VE Day, Victory in Europe, the day that fighting during the Second World War eventually stopped. And on Sunday in St. Margaret's Church, we'll be carrying those thoughts forward and sharing together in church just what that day meant for the nation and indeed for the world. So reflecting for a moment on freedoms, I thought about Moses in the Old Testament leading his people out of captivity and what that could and might mean for us. So I've called this the waiting moment. It was the moment for which they had been waiting for more than 200 years. The Israelites, slaves in Egypt, were about to go free. 10 plagues had struck the country. The people were the first to understand. Pharaoh was the last. God was on the side of freedom and human dignity. You cannot build a nation, however strong your police and army, by enslaving some for the benefit of others. History will turn against you, as it has against every tyrant known to mankind. Now the time had arrived. The Israelites were on the brink of their release. Moses, their leader, gathered them together and prepared to address them. What would he speak about at this fateful junction? The birth of a people? He could have spoken about many things. He might have talked about liberty, the breaking of their chains, and the end of slavery. He might have talked about the destination to which they were about to travel, the land flowing with milk and honey. Or he might have chosen a more somber theme, the journey that lay ahead, the dangers that they would face, what Nelson Mandela called the long walk to freedom. Any one of those would have been the speech of a great leader sensing a historic moment in the destiny of Israel. However, Moses did none of these things. Instead, he spoke about children and the distant future and the duty to pass on memory to generations yet unborn. So, how might we construct that message for our own generations? In our life's journey, fear and discouragement tie us down. Worry and duties snare us instead of bringing delight. Too often we hold on to our grown-up gadgets of cars and tech, thinking answers to undiscovered happiness lies with them. We hang on to past hurts. It's easier to be sarcastic and gossip than it is to care and make a difference. Is our message worthy to pass on, or our memories to our generations as yet unborn? Perhaps not. So how can that change? How can we rid ourselves of these ropes that tie us to the past and all too often pretend hope and happiness but fails to deliver? Well, Jesus invites us to carry what burdens our heart, what keeps us tied to the past, and to give it all up into his hands. And what waits for us? Love instead of the weight of burden. And that is a message worthy to pass on to any generation. Well, Altrincham, I hope some of you might get something out of that, and I very much look forward to catching up with you again later on. So God bless and take care.